The year is not some distant future. It's now. Wildfires turn forests to ash, oceans swallow coastlines, storms grow stronger, and seasons forget their rhythm. But behind every climate disaster is not just nature's fury, it's politics. Every nation negotiates, every corporation lobbies, and every citizen's choice matters. The world is not just facing an environmental crisis, it's facing a political one. Welcome to the age of climate politics and environmental governance, where the struggle for survival meets the struggle for power. Welcome back to the Learning Studio. You're watching our political science series, and today's lecture dives into one of the most urgent global issues of our time: climate politics and environmental governance. We'll explore how environmental challenges have reshaped international relations, how global agreements like the Paris Accord work, and why climate action is not just science, it's political will. And in our next episode, we'll explore globalization and its discontents, examining how interconnected economies and societies create both opportunity and inequality. The political nature of climate change. Climate change is often described as a scientific issue, but at its heart, it's profoundly political. Who should cut emissions? Who pays for the damage? Who decides what's fair? These are questions of power, justice, and governance, the very essence of political science. The rise of environmental politics. The roots of climate politics go back to the 1970s, when growing awareness of pollution and resource depletion led to the first global conference on the environment in Stockholm, 1972. Later came the Rio Earth Summit, 1992, and the Kyoto Protocol, 1997, where nations first agreed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And then, in 2015, the Paris Agreement became a landmark in global environmental governance, a collective promise to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius. Yet promises are easier than action. While developing nations demand climate justice, richer nations debate responsibility. The tension between economic growth and environmental survival defines our century. Environmental governance. Who rules the planet? Environmental governance refers to the institutions, agreements, and policies that manage how humans interact with nature. It involves actors at every level: international, like the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC; national, governments enacting green policies and energy transitions; local, communities protecting forests, rivers, and ecosystems. But it's not just governments. NGOs, corporations, and even citizens' movements now influence climate decisions, from Fridays for Future to Extinction Rebellion. Climate politics in the 21st century. The US and China, the two biggest emitters, dominate global negotiations. Small island nations fight for survival as rising seas threaten their existence. India and Africa demand development space, arguing that the global north grew rich by polluting. It's a complex moral landscape, a mix of responsibility, capacity, and urgency. The Anthropocene, a new political era. Scientists now call our age the Anthropocene, the era in which human activity itself shapes the planet's climate and geology. In this era, governance isn't just about managing people, it's about managing humanity's relationship with Earth. Climate politics is not just a policy issue, it's about the survival of civilizations. It asks the biggest political question of all: can humanity cooperate fast enough to save itself? True environmental governance requires more than agreements. It requires courage, innovation, and global solidarity. And that's today's lecture on climate politics and environmental governance, the defining political challenge of our time. In our next episode, we'll explore globalization and its discontents, how interconnected economies and societies create both progress and pain in the modern world. This is the Learning Studio, where learning never stops. See you in the next class.